It's Charter Local Edition. Brad Pomerance here in the San Gabriel Valley, joined today by Victoria Martinez. She is the Mayor Pro Tem of the beautiful city of El Monte, which, if you think about it, is really kind of right at the crossroads of a lot of different freeways and metro lines. Tell me about where El Monte is in this region.
El Monte, we like to consider El Monte as the center of the San Gabriel Valley.
Nice.
We really, we come together, we converge at the 10 and the 605 freeway. We've got an airport in our city, which is very convenient for the San Gabriel Valley. We've got a Metro link, we've got the MTA station, and we call it the biggest MTA station west of the Mississippi River. It is.
Okay, why is it so big?
MTA invested some big money into making sure that they had proper transportation for the Southland, for the Los Angeles region, and the city of El Monte was lucky enough to have it be expanded. And I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful station.
Well, let's talk about the MTA and Metro, because it appears that in November we will have on our ballot what is known as R2.
Right.
What is R2? Back in 2008, the voters passed Measure R, a sales tax measure which funds transportation projects, and now we're looking to extend that measure. What do you make of R2?
I think R2 is exciting. I think for the Southland, I think that there's been a lack of investment in our streets and in our infrastructure, and not only in the city of El Monte, but truly regionally. It's a tough investment for our taxpayers, for our, I look at my own budget and think to myself, wow, okay, there's some extra money going out the door. But the reality is that we're paying for future planning and upgrades to our streets that our children will be able to benefit from. And our ancestors did that when it came to water years ago. They made a major investment in water infrastructure, and we are benefiting from that today. I think it's our turn to repay that favor.
So let's talk about, though, the particulars behind the potential passage of R2. As you know, the voters were generous in 2008, but just barely. It needed 66.66. It just broke that.
That's right.
In 2012, there was Measure J, and that was looking to extend Measure R. It failed by just a small hair. Some say because the San Gabriel Valley felt ignored with Measure J. How is the San Gabriel Valley feeling with regard to R2?
It's a good thing you've asked, because I have been lucky enough to be able to participate with the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments. And there's been a lively dialogue with regards to...
Well stated, lively. I could think of another word, but okay.
And how is the San Gabriel Valley truly going to benefit, and should we be supporting R2? And at the end of the day, while there may be a bunch of different ideas in regards to should we support or should we not, if the San Gabriel Valley will benefit and have some sort of a local control at the end of the day on how we invest some of these dollars, it does benefit.
And is that how it is? Is it set up in such a way to benefit? They were still negotiating
as we speak today, and we don't have a final draft as to what the ballot measure is going to look like.
But let's think about this last year, both in the San Gabriel Valley, on the west side of Los Angeles. What did we see? We saw the Gold Line extended in an epic way. That's for the San Gabriel Valley. We saw the Expo Line extended in an epic way for the west side of Los Angeles. I mean, one can now get from, I guess, Azusa to Santa Monica on public transit and not buses.
Is that amazing?
Amazing.
I lived a year in Portland, Oregon, and I got a chance to experience there just the infrastructure in regards to transportation. I've spent some time in Denver. Similar.
Same. I lived in D.C., New York, London. I mean.
And now Los Angeles, we're finally starting to get on board with the public transit system. We're so used to, though, I mean, I'll speak for myself and my family. So used to the convenience of being able to get in our cars and jump and have somewhat of a quick ride. But here's the thing, is it quick? Because now we're dealing with traffic issues. Now those who have picked up on the fast track have invested in the fast track and are able to take that as
and that goes through El Monte, I believe.
It does.
Because I drive down that freeway on the 60.
It does.
Right.
You start in El Monte and
Right.
it goes directly into downtown. You know, there's another conversation too that's been
Please.
very interesting, and that's the conversation on active transportation, bicycling, and creating bike pathways through our arterials and connecting those bike pathways so that folks who don't want to jump in their cars, folks who, you know, want to make a way up to the transit system in Azusa, in Monrovia, in Arcadia, in Pasadena, can now take their bikes up, lock their bikes,
Can I tell you
and go.
that on the Expo extension, I live near the Expo extension, there's a bike path that goes along it, which is wonderful. And then when you get on the Expo extension, there are people there with their bikes.
Yes.
So clearly Angelenos are willing to look at this in a certain way because look, it's not like New York where there's a stop every 10 feet and you can just get out and go walk up to your building. You do need to think about that last mile on both ends. But look, to avoid the traffic, I mean, what a gift. What a gift. I mean, I was taking the Expo line down essentially the 10 freeway from the west side to downtown, and I looked, and there was all this traffic on the 10, and we were moving. Same with Gold Line.
Same with Gold Line, same with Fast Track. The good news is that we're making strides when it comes to our transportation issues regionally. And that's exciting. Let me add something else too. I have the opportunity of serving on the Alameda Corridor East.
Oh yeah, I know it well.
So we just recently opened up another underpass.
And let's explain that. What that is basically, yeah, I mean, there had been, it was trying to create, like you said, undergrounding to avoid these great separations.
Exactly. So you've got railroads that are coming through, and we would, at a time, stop at those railroad crossings. Goods and services, or goods, are passing through our communities. We in our cars are stopped waiting for those goods to pass through, and there's emissions.
10, 15
oh
minutes.
my gosh, all these cars that are backed up are just spitting out pollution into our communities, number one. Number two, some of these grade crossings, in fact, the one that we just recently opened was the third most dangerous grade crossing in the nation. The number one most fatal crossing in our state. So with this underpass, it alleviates the stop of traffic. It continues the movement of goods, and at the end of the day, we are investing in so much here in our region. It's hard to not pay attention to all of this.
Let me ask you though,
yes.
On the ballot this November, we will have R2.
Yes.
We will also have, it's likely, a parks parcel tax.
That's right.
We will also have Proposition 30 extension for the wealthiest Californians. We're going to have a school construction bond,
That's right.
a tobacco tax, Prop 63 homeless bond. We may have a homeless bond or tax in LA County. Are you concerned that there'll be so many taxes and bonds that everyone will say, forget it, I'm voting no?
You know, we've seen it over and over again. Every time there's more than one or two ballot measures that are particularly speaking about taxing the consumer, taxing our base, everybody is more likely to just vote no. And it is a concern because we've spent, as certain agencies have spent millions of dollars investing in studies to see, will this pass? They're investing millions of dollars to market these particular ballot measures to hope that it passes.
But they look at, will this pass on its own? Do they also do a question which is, and the other 6 measures will be, her name is Victoria Martinez. You'll tell us what you think next time you come back. She is the Mayor Pro Tem of the beautiful city of El Monte, California. My name is Brad Pomerance. We're in the San Gabriel Valley today. We thank you so much for joining us on Charter Local Edition.